record in this computer. All right, cool. Now we are actually recording. So if you're just hopping on, if you don't mind muting yourself, we're starting out with some recognition, and then I will introduce our guest speaker for the call tonight. So I wanted to first start by welcoming all of our new coaches for the month of February. Your name is up on this board if you're brand new, and we're just excited to welcome you to our community. And I also wanted to just kind of go over some quick things if you are brand new and this is your first call to help you get started. I know we do a new coach call, but this is just always a good reminder for those of you who are maybe missed that call. So if you're brand new, the first thing you want to do is commit to your fitness journey. You want to make sure that you're plugged into a challenge group and your coach is going to help you get set up with that. And you want to get results. We're coaches. We share our results. We share our journey. And they say your body is your business. It doesn't mean you need to have a six-pack. It doesn't mean you need to be perfect. It just means you need to be showing up every day for yourself, because that's showing other people that you're going to show up every day for them too. And the second thing is to practice your vital behaviors every single day. And the more you practice these, the better you're going to get at them. That's just like anything in life. So the first one, be proof the product works. You will be doing that by showing up on your journey every day, sharing your workouts, sharing your meals, just kind of talking about the struggles you're having, the successes you're having, your team, just being proof that like we are here all working on our own journey. And these products and programs, like we know they're legit, but not everybody does. So we want to show everyone that these are legit. And the second vital behavior is to just connect, invite, and follow up. That's just kind of what they lump it in as, but that's mainly your work. Like that's what you do when you're sitting down and you're on your computer or you're on your phone, you're connecting with people, you're building relationships with people, you're inviting them to join you, and you're following up with them. Because they're not always going to answer you on the first time, and they're not always going to be ready the first time you invite them. So that's just a habit you want to get into doing. The third thing on the list is to help people get results, because we are coaches and that's what we do. And we help them get results in our challenge groups. So we get them plugged in to work with us, and then do your personal development and just make sure that it's something that is what you need at this point in your journey right now. You know, it might be different than what another coach on the team is reading, but it doesn't hurt to ask for suggestions. And if you're just getting started, I definitely recommend checking out the Slight Edge or the Compound Effect for your first book if you haven't like actually read one yet. It's a great place to start. The third item on this list is we want you to help at least 3 people every single month, change 3 lives a month. And even if you're here, like even if you're not here to like build a huge business, maybe you just want to cover your shakes every month. Like that's something that you should just get in the habit of doing anyway. It's going to help you whatever your goal might be. And also it's more fun to be a coach when you have people that you're working with and you have people that you're coaching on their journey. So just aim for 3 if you are here just to kind of cover your shakes and that's what your main goal is. But if you want to build a business and you really want to succeed and get to that level where maybe you are leaving your job or going part-time, then you're going to aim for a little bit more than that. So maybe 5 people a month, maybe 10 people a month. It just, everyone has their own personal like goal for themselves each month. But if you are wanting to at least make back your money for your shakes and get those covered, we kind of aim for 3 at least to do that. So that is what's called Success Club, and that's something that you want to get in the habit of doing. And the other thing that you want to kind of start thinking about is hitting Emerald, and that's just getting 2 friends to join you. And like I said earlier, like it's more fun to do this with friends. It's more fun to have people along the journey with you. So don't really overthink this. Just think of your 2 best friends. Maybe you have some family members that you'd like to get healthy with, and get them signed up, get them enrolled, and just do this together and commit as a family or as a friend group and just get them started. And then when you do that for 3 out of your first 6 months, which is awesome that we just updated this policy. It used to be your first 3 months. Now it's your first 6. You have to hit it at least 3 of those months. You'll get a free ticket to go to Summit, and we're going to New Orleans this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got an Airbnb, and we're all just going to hang out. So if you want to be there, that's another thing that to put on your goal list and kind of mark it in your calendar that you're going to be there and then work to get there. And then number 4, complete your new coach launch plan. So that is found in the team page. Your coach, your Diamond Upline, whoever that is, will have something like that for you. And you're going to complete that. It's just going to help you with the steps to getting set up for your business. And then you can book a call with them and they'll do a one-on-one call with you and go over your goals and kind of give you a game plan moving forward from there. And then just be on our team calls every Tuesday at 7:30. So if you're here, you're already doing one of the things. So you are on the right track. And then the last thing is just duplicate what you're doing. So help your new clients get results just like you're getting results. Help your new coaches build their teams just like you're building your teams, and just teach them what you're learning. And that's how you create duplication. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat process there. And if you can do something, then you can teach somebody how to do it too. So I'm going to go with our recognition now for our TV and Success Club. This is from last Thursday, so I'm sure this is a little outdated. So if you have someone that you want to shout out in the chat, give them a shout out. If there's a coach on your team you want to shout out, or anyone, this is the time to do it. Type it in the chat and we'll celebrate them. But I'll start with our people on the board for Success Club, and with at least one life changed, we have Randy Blender, Lauren Avon, Christy Kako, Emmy Schneider-Green, Colleen Lyle, Carolyn Walker, Brittany Chasmer, Savannah Scheffler, Rachel Taylor, Norm/Natalie, and Brittany Thomas. And then with at least 3 lives changed, we have myself, Sammy Motz, Amber Giltner, and Sarah Jennings. And then with Success Club 10, which is at least 5 lives changed, we have Natalie. And then our coach of the week, we have Amber, who actually is our winner from our Emerald Factory. She's one of our winners. We also had Brittany Baxter, who won as well. So shout out to the 2 of you. And she is on the board as well with 2 coaches this month too. So shout out to you, Amber. She hit Emerald in our group. She locked it in. She won part of the prize, and I think she signed up like 3 coaches actually. I don't know. This is probably outdated at this point. So like I said, it's from last Thursday. Our top recruiters, we have Norm/Natalie, Brittany and Amber with 2, Sarah with 3, and myself with 4. And then our TV producers, we have up there Faith Godwin, Emmy Schneider-Green, Mary Knuth, sorry if I said that wrong, Sammy Motz, and myself as our top 5. And as of last Thursday, we changed 35 lives, which I'm sure it's way more than that now. So shout out to everyone. Woo-hoo. And then last thing I wanted to do is just kind of keep everybody informed. So if you don't know, the pumpkin spice thing is still going on. I thought it was like a 2-week thing, but apparently we must have had a crap ton of pumpkin spice that we are adding on to anyone who's purchasing a challenge pack. So if you have a customer or a coach who's joining you with a Shakeology challenge pack, they're going to get a free box of pumpkin spice with that order. It automatically adds it. You don't have to add it, so it's really cool to know. The Coach Summit Mardi Gras ticket is on sale right now for $170, and it's now until the end of the month. So if you're like kind of sort of thinking about going to Summit, I highly recommend getting a ticket. You do not want to miss out on it because FOMO sucks. So make sure you get that. And then also Mixed Berry Energize is coming out in March, which is always exciting to have a new flavor of our unicorn juice, or whatever you guys want to call it. Crack juice, we call it crack here. It's probably not something we should say in public, and it's embarrassing when it happens, but there's a new flavor coming out and it's mixed berry. So look out for that. That's something that you want to start talking about, not right now maybe, but like when it's a little bit closer with your current customers who already enjoy Energize. It's a great option for them to try a new flavor. And then 10 rounds is coming out like fairly soon. So that is next month. I believe it is March 16th, I think. Super early. It's like kind of early mid-March that it's going to be coming out. So don't quote me on the date, but all the information is in FAQ 1010, which is easy to remember. So make sure that you check that out. I'll be sharing some stuff with the team and the team page as far as like the launch goes and all of that. So look out for that too. And then the last thing, I'm sure you saw, I posted something in the team page about, oh, thanks. March 23rd for customers, March 9th for coaches. Perfect. Thank you. And then I shared something in the team page yesterday. Instead of doing our Emerald Factory, we're doing something a little bit different for March. And I haven't exactly like said what it's going to be, but look out for some more information about that tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let's get on to our guest speaker. I'm so excited to hear from Michelle. I actually was fortunate enough to meet Michelle when I was in Arizona at the Beachbody Leadership Conference. She was there. You were there as a guest, right? Yeah. So she was there as a guest, and She's going to be there. She's earning it probably for herself this year. Not probably, definitely. So I'll get to see you again, which I'm excited about. But she is a lifetime 3-star diamond coach. She's a premier 2020 coach. So that was like this past year, her team hit premier. She is also a Success Club All-Star, which means that she hits Success Club consistently. All-Star is in 1 year. So 12 months in a row, she's hit Success Club. I'm sure it's more than that. And she's also a retired nurse. So if we have any nurses on our team, you can relate to her in that aspect. And she's a dog mom, so everyone on this call can basically relate to that. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to you. I'm just really excited to have you here, and thank you for taking time out of your night to share with us. So
you're so welcome. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I started this new thing of wearing headphones because I have 3 dogs right now, my parents' dog, and my boyfriend decided to, actually, I'm going to make sure I close out of my Facebook or I'm going to hear like my team blowing up in the background. Went to the gym late and I'm like, can I swear on here? I'm like, motherfucker, can you, like, of course you go to the gym when I need your help with these animals. And then they came up to me and they're like, they have to poop right now. And I'm like, of course they have to crap right
like
now.
What's going on right here. So,
so
totally get it.
if they shit on the carpet, I don't care, I guess, whatever. So like she said, I'm a retired registered nurse. Tonight, I am not going to tell you anything earth-shattering. I am not about to tell you a secret that is going to make your business blow up. There's no secret to this business. What I'm going to tell you tonight is the day that I drew the line in the sand that totally shifted my business. And I hope that it gives you some insight and inspiration that maybe you feel, the stupid word that I hate, stuck in this business, or you're blaming this, or you're blaming your upline, or whatever excuse as to why you're not successful or where you think that you should be. Tonight is my whole story about this business and how I came into it. I don't have a PowerPoint or anything like that because I don't do any of that. I am a very I can't make Canvas. All the teachers, like, Ashley's so pretty with these graphics. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't understand Canva. Like, I do, but no. So my journey started let me back up. In 2000, I've always been into health and fitness. I played soccer in college. I love working out. I truly am a gym rat at heart. I've always been. My parents are super healthy and fit. And we grew up in like a family that loved to like go on jogging workouts together as a family and all of the things. So in 2015, I actually signed up with a personal trainer at an all-women's gym, and she sold me a challenge pack. It was the Hammer and Chisel DVDs, but she never told me about the opportunity for this. And at that time, I graduated nursing school in 2013, so I was 2 years into being a nurse. And she never offered it to me. And I hated the fact of sweating at home. So I actually returned it. And fast forward 2 years later, I was working as a nurse. Like I said, I was working as a nurse full time. I had just switched to a home care position, working 40 hours a week, because before that, I was working in the hospital where I was taking care of patients who had brain cancer, who tried to kill themselves by shooting themselves in the head, but they survived. I took care of young kids who were in motorcycle accidents and then were paralyzed from the neck down. And my way of coping with that was coming home after a 12-hour night shift and drinking a beer in the shower. And as you could tell, that's obviously not normal to do, not normal to cope like that. And I knew I needed a change, but I didn't exactly know what. I had gotten married in 2017, and he was a nurse as well. And between him and I being miserable with our jobs, drinking in the mornings, because that's just nighttime, and we worked every other weekend or every weekend, we both gained weight. I gained 35 pounds after, nursing school the first 3 years. And I was just in the worst physical shape and mental health that I've ever been in my entire life. So in 2017, August of 2017, I was sitting on my phone on Facebook, and I had seen my coach post a picture of her working out in her basement with her dogs. And she said that she retired from teaching and that other people could get healthy and fit and work out at home and make a full-time income. So my upline is Ashley Fell Dyson, but that's who I had seen on my Facebook. I don't even know. She must have friend requested me because she is from like the town that I grew up in. And I want you to know something. I didn't like that post. I didn't reach out to her. I was a straight up cold invite. When you feel scared to invite a person right off the bat, you never know who you could be finding. Okay. So I seen her post, and I then went on my Facebook page and I wrote, I wish that I could take selfies and drink supplements and get paid to do it. That's all I said. And she just happened to see my post, and that's when she direct messaged me on Facebook and said, girlfriend, I literally LOL'd at your post. You can make a full-time income doing what I do by taking selfies and getting paid, working out, getting fit. There's a little bit more involved, but, we could talk and we can meet, if that's something you'd want to do. And it's funny to read the conversation because I had a couple like stipulations, and my biggest thing was like sweating on my own carpet. The nurse in me was like, that's so disgusting. Like, I don't want to work out at home. But I just said, I'll think about it. And a girl that I worked with seen that I had posted that as well. And she texted me and said, hey, I'm actually signing up with this girl, Ashley. She's taking me to lunch next week. If you'd want to come, you could ask her more about it. Apparently she gets paid and stuff, so it'd be kind of fun. So the 35-pound heavier Michelle was like, oh shit, like margaritas and lunch? Like, yeah, I'll be there. Like, what time? I'm going to come for the free lunch. So I met Ashley and my girlfriend from work, and Ashley just had this belief that she was going to create this incredible business. Like, she was going to be a superstar diamond. I didn't even know what that meant at the time, but she was like telling me all the lingo. And I'm like, yeah, like that sounds so cool. I don't really know what that is, but she just was so happy. And I lacked that. And that night I signed up with a challenge pack, actually through that other girl. So Ashley had me sign up with her, and I went home. I looked over the training. I didn't even do all of the training. I just seen how happy Ashley was and the belief that she had in herself and this business. And she just said, do what I do. And that's when I hit the ground running. So the first month, I think I hit like Success Club 30. I crushed it. I was so happy. Like, I made my own challenge group. I decided to do 21-day fix. I went 100% on the nutrition plan. I did not drink a day of the 21 days, and I lost 10 pounds the first 21 days. And on my 21st day, I remember finishing the workout, and I was in my spare bedroom at the time at my ex-husband and I's house, and I just started crying. And I thought to myself, how did I end up in such a fucked up life situation? Because being sober, that even though I wasn't like an alcoholic, but it just binge drinking, right? Being sober those 21 days helped me realize like my true feelings about my marriage, how my husband was abusive, how like I wasn't safe at home, how my job was truly killing me because of all of the stress and anxiety that comes with being a nurse. And I remember thinking, I have to get out of this situation because I don't know if I'll keep living with being in the marriage that I'm in. So that next month I with all of the personal development, I grew the balls, because leaving a marriage is something that I know that, Caroline, you know much about this. It is something that I don't wish on my worst enemy. It's something that is so emotionally exhausting, and fear of judgment, fear of all of things, literally. And so I was going to therapy, and she said one day, throughout crushing my business, so still having the belief that I was going to be this great coach, right? So 1-2 months into my business, still hitting Success Club high numbers, doing the things. I was actually waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I would read my personal development, drink my Energize, send 150 invites, and do my workout. And then I'd go to work as a nurse at 8 o'clock in the morning, because at the time, so mustering up the courage, right? I was talking to my therapist and she said, one day you will just be sick of what your situation is and you will leave. And so 2 months into this business, on a Wednesday morning, I woke up and I said, I'm done with this and I need to leave. And I packed up my shit. I took my 2 dogs. I left a note and I moved into an apartment that nobody knew that I lived in. I hid it from my parents. I hid it from my best friends. Only one friend at the time knew I was staying and was going on. But I left. So I was now paying for half of a mortgage of a house that I didn't live in and an apartment. So my back was really up against the wall. So that's why I was waking up so early, because I knew that the income potential for this business could help me pay for all of these things that now was happening, right? I'm like, how am I going to pay for a divorce? How am I going to pay for an apartment? How do I get out of a mortgage? If he tries to take my dogs, I swear to God, I'll lock him in the house and burn it to the fucking ground with him in it. Like all of these things racing through your head. And I just knew if I kept showing up for my business that it would all work out. So September through January, I killed my business. I hit diamond very quickly. I think I hit diamond in 7 weeks. And I was quickly like going on to hitting 1 star. At the time that I was pushing for 1 star, Ashley and my original coach quit, right? A month into this, she quit. So I then became Ashley's PS coach. In January of 2018, Ashley was signing a bunch of new coaches. Like I remember her and I, when she lived in New York, I would go to her house and there'd be like 3 people on our team call. That was in August. Come January, there was already like 30 people. So she had just recently signed a bunch of new coaches, and she signed a new coach that was like a unicorn to this business. And I never followed, like even to this day, I've come back to my true self, but I've never been a super like me judging myself towards somebody else. I've always stayed in my own lane. But with this business, it can be so easy to look at somebody else's highlight reel and say, what do they have that I don't? And like, have you ever done that before? Because that's truly what stole the joy from my business in 2018. Ashley signed this unicorn coach who, like diamond, it felt like a day. She went 2 star, it felt like a week, right? And you're thinking to yourself, well, geez, I've been a coach for, it's so silly, really. Like I've been a coach for 4 months. Why am I not 2 star yet? Right? You're starting to compare yourself. And I just looked at her and said, well, she has something that I don't have. So I don't see how I could be successful with this business. So I went from hitting high success club numbers, being super intentional with my day, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, filling out that business activity tracker before I went to my full-time job, to sleeping in, not sending the invites because, you know, everybody has seen me showing up for 4 months. So why aren't they signing up with me yet? I became just very lazy with the business because I was letting somebody else's life, I was comparing myself to her. And all through that, I was still like trying to figure out, how do I even do a divorce? How do I tell my parents that I'm living in another apartment? So January through June, I half-assed my business for 4 months. I hit Success Club by the skin of my teeth. And I really was just questioning if this was really what I was meant to do. I knew that nursing clearly wasn't. I wasn't happy, but I just thought that this was it. Like, this is how my life is going to be. So in June, I actually decided, you know what, I'm going to do travel nursing. So I reached out to one of my good friends who lives here in Rochester, and I said, hey, you know, I'm thinking of moving to North Carolina. Do you know any good places to live? And she said, oh my gosh, you should call Tabitha. She lives there and she should help you. Like, she should be able to help you. Tabitha was the 3rd discount coach that I ever signed up in August of 2017. So I reached out to my discount coach and I said, hey, you know, I'm thinking of moving to North Carolina. Do you know of any cool places I could live? And she goes, let me call you right back. And I'm like, okay. So like 10 minutes goes by. She calls me right back. She's like, hey, it's really weird that you called me today because my husband and I were just thinking about getting a 2-bedroom apartment. We went and looked at one yesterday and we've been debating. And with everything you have going on, you know, I told her what's going on, divorce, yada, 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 all of the debt that my husband accrued at a fucking strip club that I had no idea that was going on, but that's besides the point. I'm like, okay, well, like, what's going on? She's like, I think that you should move in with us. And I'm like, wait, what? She's like, no, seriously, we want to help you get out of debt. We want to help you like find your purpose back and come move in with us. And I said, okay. So a week later, I packed up my stuff. I told my parents, hey, just so you know, this is what's been going on the last 6 months, 7 months of my life. I'm getting a divorce. I'm getting off of the mortgage. Oh, and by the way, I'm moving to North Carolina. I took a travel nurse job. I signed the papers. You can't talk me out of it. And I'm leaving in 2 days. And they're like, wait, what? Their mind was blown. They're like, what do you mean? How can you leave this nursing job here? What's going on? Why do you, like, what divorce? What? They had no idea how abusive he was. They had no clue about his drinking, his gambling, and his promiscuous problems. They had no idea. And I just said, I know that this is for me. So in June, I packed up my stuff and I moved to North Carolina. And again, I was still lazy in this business. I was lazy in this business, but I was still being negative, commenting on new coaches that Ashley was signing because I was jealous of where they were in this business. But I was jealous of them, but I wasn't willing to do the work. And that's something that like I just want you to think about as I finish my story. Maybe you find like maybe you're at this point in this business. Maybe you compare yourself to somebody else's chapter 10, but you're not even willing to finish writing your introduction to your business, right? So January through August or June through August, I was still half-assing the business. Again, hitting Success Club, kind of, sorta, just by the skin of my teeth. And Tabitha seen that, you know, I did love this business, but I would just be like, well, so-and-so hit another star effing diamond. Like, here I am sitting at diamond. What's wrong with me? So in August of 2018, I remember we were sitting on the couch and I looked at her and I said, you know, Tabitha, I just don't think that this business is for me anymore. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, I think I'm going to fill out my coach cancellation form. And I think I'm going to try to like do my own thing. Who needs like the Beachbody platform? And she's like, I mean, I wouldn't do that just yet. Like, don't put in your coach cancellation form just yet. Like, ride this out. Like, just see what will happen. And I'm like, I don't know. I contacted an app place, mind you, just so you know, to make your own app is hundreds of thousands of dollars. Good fucking luck finding the money to buy that. And you have to make your own workouts, and you have to create your own meal plans, and you have to still grow your following and do all of the things that we do as a coach. So don't think that it's just like easy peasy to start your own business without Beachbody platform, because it's so expensive. So at the end of the conversation, she said, we have the wedding next weekend. So this was the end of September 2018. She goes, we have, you know, the wedding next weekend. Just go to the wedding back in New York and just see what happens. I'm like, okay. So September 2nd, we flew to New York and I was in her soon to be sister-in-law's wedding. And, you know, I had been away from my husband for over a year at that point, almost a year, basically. I hadn't dated anybody. I was just like living it up, whatever, in North Carolina, but I wasn't dating anybody. And I had met my now boyfriend in the wedding. He was actually the best man. So my roommate at the time was actually then related to him through marriage. So at that wedding, I was like, who is that? He's so cute. I went up and started talking to him. Come to find out, he had actually lost 115 pounds at home, working out, not with Beachbody, but with meal planning, prepping, loved fitness, loved working out, loved like nutrition. And he asked me like what I was in. And I said, well, I love this thing, this Beachbody program. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And he's like, no. I'm like, P90X. He's like, no, never heard of it. So I started talking about the business opportunity, and it was literally in the midst of the conversation, I was like, holy shit, like, I really do believe in this. Like, I'm not going to turn in my coach cancellation form. This is something that I love. Like, I started to hear myself loving and realizing why I started this in the first place. So I went home to North Carolina after the wedding. We got each other's phone number. I messaged him on Facebook the next day. And from September to January, again, I was still kind of half-assing this business. In January of 2019, I went to a diamond retreat held by Ashley in Florida. And Brittany Leggett was there, and she was a nurse, retired her husband from the Navy SEALs like 9 years early, right? And I pulled her to the side after she talked to us, and I just said, you know, Brittany, how did you leave this nursing job? Because I make a 6-figure income now. It's really hard for me to think about leaving it for this. And she said, I was making only $300 a week, and that's when I quit my nursing job. She said, I put my back up against the wall. And she said, it's time that you do that too. She's like, you're complacent. She's like, if you're miserable with nursing, you see the potential in this business, stop the comparison, stay in your own lane, do the work, and it will work out for you. And I said, okay, like the next time you see me, I promise you that I will not be standing in front of you as a diamond coach, like half-assing my business. And she said, okay. So I came home. Tabitha picked me up from the airport, and I looked at Tabitha and I said, I'm done. I'm done half-assing this. I'm done like hitting Success Club by the skin of my teeth. I'm done talking shit about other coaches that I don't even know what's going on in their life. Like, that's not me. I'm such a loving person. I don't judge people. I'm done doing all of that. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to go back to the routine that I did when I was, you know, at home in that apartment when I had the belief, because I know that I believe and I know that I can do this. And she said, okay, I'm going to hold you to it. So all of January, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I slept in an extra hour, thank God, but I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I worked out. I set my invites. I did the business activity tracker all before I went to work again at 8 o'clock in the morning as a nurse. And I came home and I did calls and I listened to YouTube. I watched Bonnie Engel while I was driving throughout the hills of North Carolina. When I was going between patients' houses, I poured myself into this business. I eat, slept, and breathed it, because I then set a goal that I would quit my nursing job in April. So one day I came home and I went to the gym at our apartment complex. I came home and I looked at Tabitha and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, we need to talk to you. And I was like, great, they're going to kick me out of this apartment. Like, this is my time. I'm done. She goes, we've really been, you know, seeing how you've been waking up early and you stay up late and you believe so much in this business. She goes, Jared and I are going to start working this business too. And I was like, wait, what? She goes, yeah, the both of us, we're going to work this business with you. And I was like, oh my God, okay, like, let's go. So she was my first diamond. She hit diamond in like 5 weeks. Jared is he's just a couple coaches away from diamond right now. He actually likes to do the back end stuff with her. But her and I ran together. We woke up early together. We stayed up late. We held each other accountable. We were truly just ready to just have purpose again in this life. So in February, we hit 1 star, and that was just the beginning. So I popped 13 emeralds last year. And I'm not saying this to boast or brag, but I'm just telling you that when you shift your mindset from why is she doing that and not me to why not me, God, the things that you've like wished for in this business, they will come to you. And like, be ready, like just be ready for that, by the way. Like, be careful what you wish for, but it's so true. So popped like 12, I think 12 or 14 emeralds last year. We hit 3-star in August, and I had all of the elite points. We just fell short of the diamonds last year to end an elite team, but I stayed up the last day of the quarter to, start qualification as a 5-star elite coach. I went on Zoom. I invited everybody from my team. I invited everybody from Ashley's team, anybody who wanted to stay up till midnight to me to prove to themselves and be purposeful that what you will work for is what will be given to you. And I showed up on Instagram and I said, my ass is staying up till midnight because I don't want to go to bed thinking, what if? I shared that on my social media, and God, it's leveraged my business for 2020, like so incredible. And I went on Instagram, put the timestamp like 12:05 a.m. Like, we fell short of my goal, but you better believe that my ass is not doing that, in 2020. So if you want to join the coach that will stay up late, wake up early, work really hard with you, like, I'm your girl. And it's just been incredible. So wherever you are today, I don't want you to think that you're stuck here. What you're capable of is so beyond what you really think. You just have to be willing to put in the work. Don't be jealous of other coaches. Don't compare yourself. The thing is that it takes a lot of work, and you have to decide if you're willing to do that. So I have this thing that that NLC. So actually I missed the qualification last year to go to NLC, which would have been a perfect time because I should have been at NLC last year, but whatever. But I qualified for it for this year. But they had you hold up a picture of a person that is true, like truly dear to your heart, that you love so much. And they said, put it up to the screen. So I put it up to put it up to us up on the stage. And we did. And they said, when you don't feel like working this business, or when you feel like you're too tired to send another invite, or when you feel like cheating on your nutrition plan, think of that person and tell them that they're not worth it. And I was like, oh, that was so hard. So just think about that. Like, I always end it with that. And I forgot to mention, 5 months into dating my boyfriend, we also found out that he had a 11-month-old son that he had no idea that he had. So on top of a new relationship and long distance and finding somebody that I was truly like compatible with and wanting to marry, and I never thought I would even think about marriage again in my life. Oh, by the way, I think I have an 11-month-old son. So we've been co-parenting for a year now, and he's nonverbal. He bit the daycare lady again the other day, so that's been really fun. So like, my life is a hot mess. I am not perfect by any means. So if my hot ass mess can be successful with this business, there's no reason why you can't. And that's all I have for you. So if you guys have any questions, I'm done like blabbing. I hope that was like inspiring. And
no, it was awesome. Thank you so much for being real and true to yourself. We appreciate that. And it's totally fine. I know you asked if you can curse, but like, no, you're totally fine with this tribe here. We're all like cool with that. I appreciate that. I don't want you to hold back. I want you to be yourself, and it's just really nice to hear from you. And I'm sure everyone here has the motivation now that they need to go crush their goals. I know obviously I know you, and I knew your story, but I didn't know all of your story. And just hearing you share that tonight was just like really awesome, and just really inspiring too, because like seeing where you are now and seeing where you came from is just so powerful. And we're all gonna have things that happen in our lives that we don't plan for,
right.
but we're just really lucky to have this platform and this community for the times when that does happen. So thank you so much. You're awesome.
So welcome. Thank you.
I'm excited to talk to your team.
Yay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am too. Yeah. So it's just, I guess at the end of the day for you guys on here, just, gosh, not that waking up early, like super early, will create that shift in your business, but maybe it might be like, it just might be. So I just kick myself in the ass. Like, I just think about where could I have been if I didn't play that comparison game 2.5 years. Like, if I can hit 3-star in 6 months, like what? So I don't know. I just believe there's so much room at the top for all of us to sit and be successful. So I just hope to see everybody there.
Yeah. It's a great message too. It's something that I think everyone needs to hear at some point in their business. You're going to feel that way. So, does anyone have any questions while she's on here that you'd like to ask? Nothing?
Okay.
Quiet tonight. Okay, that's fine. So if you think of anything and you want me to pass it on to her, as always, like I'll just send them on over to you if that's cool.
Yeah, of course.
But before we go, we're gonna do a little boomerang. So get your phone out. You can post it on your story. I will